So I always get the question, what are Funko Pops that Funko hasn't made yet that I would love to see? So let's check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope your day is going well. Today is a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be talking about all of the Funko Pops that I personally would love to see Funko make and that I would definitely buy. Now I also want you guys to participate in this by answering the question of the day, and that is, if you were the CEO of Funko and you could make any Funko Pop line happen, what would it be? Drop a comment down below. Alright, now jumping into some of my selections, firstly I have a couple Cartoon Network shows. Now the first one being the original Teen Titans show. I personally never really loved the Teen Titans Go show. It was a little too kiddie for me, honestly, but a lot of people do enjoy it, so I'm not knocking them in any manner. It just wasn't for me personally. But the original Teen Titans, I freaking love that. So much so that I have a very fond memory with Teen Titans, actually, funny enough. So, a while back, when I was a child, my parents separated briefly. I know this is not off to a good start, but bear with me. It sounds terrible, but they separated briefly. Me, my siblings, and my mom actually moved into an apartment for a couple months. And I actually remember in that apartment, we didn't really have a lot of stuff because my mom was single at the time, one income. But I remember playing with like some Teen Titans action figures, and more specifically a Beast Boy action figure, and I absolutely loved it. So that memory will always probably stay with me, but it's just something that pops up every time I see this show. Anyways, though, here are a couple characters I would love to see from the show, and we're gonna kind of go basic here and say the obvious Teen Titans: Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven, as well as Slade there. Now, funny enough, there's actually another memory attached to Teen Titans, and it revolves around YouTube a little bit. But anyways, I was talking about Slade Wilson and Deathstroke from Teen Titans. And somebody commented, it was the funniest thing, they go, Slade Wilson and Deathstroke are not the same person. You don't know what you're talking about. I was like, okay. Anyways, though, this is one of the many Cartoon Network shows that I grew up watching, and I would love to see Funko Pops from this. Next up, we have Codename Kids Next Door. I think this would be a fantastic Funko Pop line, and recently they have been doing a lot of Cartoon Network shows like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, they did Powerpuff Girls, so I think we could continue the lineup with some really cool characters. Now, here's just a few of the many characters I would like to see. All 5 members of the Codename Kids Next Door. We also have the Delightful Children, Father, and Sticky Beard, just some that kind of came to mind. Now, Funko has been loving their multi-packs lately, whether it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 million packs. This would be the perfect show to do multi-packs with. Now, you couldn't tell me that Father wouldn't make a really great glow-in-the-dark, like, exclusive chase with the flames all around him. That would be awesome. And Sticky Beard would be a really cool, like, flocked Funko Pop with his beard and then scented for the candy. I don't know if this is a show we'll ever see in Funko Pop form, but I think it would be a great choice. Now, this one is just a classic that I feel like a lot of people will agree with, and we do have the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. God, I love this show growing up. I used to play a lot of the little mini games on the Cartoon Network website when I was a kid, when I did have like a little like brand new laptop that my parents got me. So much fun. So jumping into the Pops, we do have Grim, Billy, Mandy, of course. There's so many like great little chase opportunities. So many crazy things happen to these characters. We also have Nurgle, Hoss, and Eris. The best part about this show is that it kind of expands all over the place, so there are so many character opportunities that Funko could really dive into with this show. It's kind of similar like Ben 10 a little bit, where Ben 10 has like an unlimited amount of aliens. Like the same thing happens here, where there's just so many characters in the show. Also, Funko is usually all about their very simple chases, so with Hoss alone, they could just change his fist into something else. So those were just a few Cartoon Network choices. I could definitely put more, but I didn't want to overwhelm the list with just Cartoon Network choices. We did have a live action movie choice, and that was Mission Impossible. So if you don't know, Tom Cruise, he doesn't let his likeness be used for a lot of toys, especially Funko Pops, because the only one we currently have is the Mummy Funko Pop, and that was like immediately recalled from that movie because there's just something with him. I think it's the whole Scientology thing, but anyways, his likeness can't really be used for a lot of toys, so we'll probably never see Funko Pops of him in the future. But out of all the movies he's participated in, his Mission Impossible franchise is definitely one of my favorites. And Ghost Protocol is definitely one of my favorites out of the Mission Impossible franchise. So, a couple choices here. Ethan with hood, Ethan climbing gear. That was such a funny moment when one of them went out. Ethan and Benji in the Kremlin outfits, and William Brandt. I honestly think a full Mission Impossible lineup would be really nice, but again, this is just kind of like wishful thinking. I highly doubt we'll ever see them. Kind of similar to Nintendo and Spawn, for example, just something we'll never see. Now, obviously, no surprise here, I collect majority anime Funko Pops, so here are my selections as to what I would like to see in the future. First up, we have Dragon Ball GT. So there's a lot of different hate and love for this particular anime just because it's not canon and a lot of people think it sucks. I personally like it. I think there's great aspects about it. I think there's bad aspects about it, but I don't think it's just wholeheartedly bad. Anyways though, here are a few characters I would love to see. So on the list we have Goku and Vegeta as Super Saiyan 4, that would just be absolutely legendary, as well as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. At this point though, I'll take any Gogeta, even if it's regular base Gogeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta, I'll just take a Gogeta. We also have Omega Shenron, Baby Vegeta, Oob, Super 17, Android 18 is what I meant, Nova, and Ice. Now, even though there's a lot of hate directed towards this show, I think if Funko released like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, and then Gogeta fused, I think this line would sell very, very well. Now, usually when I'm talking about Dragon Ball GT, I always get the question, why Baby Vegeta? I just think he's a really cool looking character, to be honest. Regardless if anybody else doesn't like his character design, I always thought he looked really cool, and I think he would translate really well to a Funko Pop. Now, Android 18 is just solely because she's the anime wife of Dragon Ball, so she just has to be in there. Next up, we have Sword Art Online. If you don't know, this is kind of like one of the animes that me and Bailey both really love, and we kind of bonded on when we first met originally as well, especially Abridged. We actually just saw the new movie the other night, Schwerzo, I can't pronounce the name, but it was good. Now, in the recent wave of Sword Art Online Pops, we did get a bunch of new Funko Pops, but we only got one brand new character, which was Leafa. And the rest were just new versions of Kirito and Asuna, which is really great. I love Kirito and Asuna, but I would have preferred them to expand more into the character-verse. So here are a few characters that I would love to see if they decide to continue on with Sword Art Online. We have Sinon, Heathcliff, Aegil, Klein, and Yui. Now, out of all those characters I just listed, I would love to see Sinon the most. She is definitely one of my favorite characters from SAO. I was a little bummed to see that she ended up not being released in that last wave of Pops with Leafa, Kirito, and Asuna. For some reason, she was canceled, but she was supposed to be in that wave and have her gun in hand. I really hope Funko sees the potential in Sword Art Online because they could make some really awesome characters. Next up, we have Chainsaw Man, and I myself, among many others, love the first season. And here are some of the characters I would love to see. We have Denji, then Chainsaw Man. Maybe it could be a really cool chase situation, like a bloody chase. I don't know if Funko will do that if they ever decide to make these, but we'll see. We also have Makima, Pochita, Power, and Aki. Now, if you don't know, there are technically rumors out there of possible Chainsaw Man Funko Pops maybe coming at the end of this year, so make sure to just stay tuned on that. Once I get more updates, I'll definitely update you guys ASAP because I'm certainly excited about this show. Recently, the company U2's made this really awesome Chainsaw Man figure that's still available for pre-order, I believe, if you'd like to pick it up, but this thing turned out so awesome, and I really hope the Funko version, if they decide to make him in the future, is like half as good as this one, because it looks so great. Given the extreme amount of hype around this show and the simps for Denji, Makima, and Power, I think this will be a really, really successful anime line for Funko in the future. Moving on, here's a personal favorite anime of mine that I would just love to see Funko make, and I really hope they do it in the future. I think this line has heavy potential. I don't know how well it will do, to be honest, because like Code Geass is a very big anime, but like these days, I just don't feel like it's as well known. But if they're doing Trigun Funko Pops, come on, Code Geass would be great. Now, the following characters I would like to see is Lelouch, Suzaku, Colin, C2, and some of the Nightmares, maybe as like 6-inch or 10-inch pops. That would be freaking dope. Because if you take a look at Evangelion, they made some of the EVA units as 6-inch pops, and it could be very similar to those. And Lelouch has a perfect chase opportunity with him as Lelouch unmasked and Zero masked. And if you don't know by now, I do actually have a Lelouch custom that turned out really awesome, so check this out, guys. Come on, Funko, make it happen, please. Let me know in the comments if you would buy Code Geass Funko Pops if Funko made them. I need to see how many Code Geass fans I have down below. And if you haven't seen the anime, I highly recommend it. So another personal favorite of mine is Guilty Crown. This anime isn't exactly mainstream, and I am kind of curious if I have anybody watching the channel that has seen this. If you haven't, again, like Code Geass, highly recommend it. It is so good. Though again, as I said, I don't really ever see Funko making this anime just because it's not popular enough. But out of all the characters in this show, I would love to see just mainly 4, and that's Shu, Mana, Inori, and Guy. Now, Shu Oma possibly has unlimited chase or exclusive opportunities here just because you could just change the weapon in his hand at any given time. This is one of those shows where I can just go back and watch it multiple times on end and never get bored with it. Very similar to Code Geass as well, and I would just love to see Funko make these. Like, these would look so freaking good as Funko Pops. Alrighty, so the final anime license is Bleach. I do feel like Bleach is a little oversaturated with like Ichigos right now, as you can see, because all the last releases as well were just purely Ichigo, outside of Ukiura. To put it in perspective for you, there are 11 Funko Pops in the Bleach set currently, and 6 of them, over half, is Ichigo. I do understand though, he is the main character and he has many forms in the show, but there's so many characters in Bleach, like so many. And here are 8 I would love to see. On my list is Aizen, Kenpachi, Uryu, Kisuke, Grimmjow in his release form. I think that would be an awesome like chase situation. Neliel, Toshiro, and Yoroichi. Though something to note is that we do actually have another wave of Bleach Funko Pops coming, and there are many characters like Orihime, Chad, Uryu I believe, Kenpachi, and Aizen, and there might be some more. And for those wondering, we shouldn't see those well into 2024 I believe. So again, we do have another new wave of Bleach Funko Pops coming, and I really hope it features a lot of new characters. I'm just gonna leave this here. If Funko is feeling crazy and wants to make the new Yoroichi from the manga, I'm all for it. Just let me know. I'll give you my number. Anyways, moving on, I think Bleach fans are really starved for new characters and new Funko Pops right now. I think all the ones that we've gotten recently in the last few months have been great, but I really think it's time for Funko to step up their game a little bit with the Bleach lineup and go all out. Alright guys, those are some of the licenses that I would absolutely love for Funko to make in the future. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree on any of these, and again, as a reminder, make sure to comment down below what you would love to see. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to smash that like button down below if you did enjoy. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. I'd love to have you stick around for daily content. To end off this video, I do want to say a big shout out to all the wonderful Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys absolutely rock for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, then check out the link down below. We have a Patreon-only Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. We also have a Facebook group with over 16,000 members that's buy, sell, and trade. And make sure to be following me on all my social medias at SkittleRampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page to stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.